Hello, my friends. Lighting our incense for our chat today. Happy Wednesday to you, my friends. Today's been a wonderful day so far. Me and my friend Erin, who is a vegan ray of sunshine, you can find her on Instagram. We had a massage booked, so we went for that, and that's kind of why my hair is like a little weird today. It's not quite the way I wanted it, but it's got some hand oils in it and stuff. But we had massages, and then we went out for lunch and chatted about what she could do to grow her Instagram and help other people. She's a nurse, and she really puts out the plant-based lifestyle to help her patients. She works in the cardiac unit. So I love her so much. Erin, you are amazing, and you are such a great voice for the animals. And yeah, we had such a wonderful time together. What else did we do today? I took Koba out, and I had a bunch of work to do on my yoga video and also on the retreat that Ted and I are running. It is half full so far. If you guys want to attend, please head over to healthywealthyvegan.com, sign up the application form so that we can approve you if you want to come. There's only 12 spots available, and like I said, it's half sold out. So please, if you're interested in coming, it's February 12th to the 22nd in Portland, Oregon. We would love to have you join us on our 10 days together. Ted wanted to learn a lot of stuff that I do in my business, and I wanted to learn some stuff that Ted does. So we wanted to get together and teach each other and Nate about the stuff that we're doing. And we thought, why don't we just run a retreat and have people come and learn? Since we're gonna do it anyways, we might as well have you guys come in as well. So we're planning this to have people who wanna learn about the raw vegan lifestyle, because we're gonna be feeding you the entire time. You'll be living in the house with us. We're renting a nice Airbnb, and we're going to be doing 5 a.m. club. We're going to be going to bed early. We're going to do fitness with Ted CARR. It's going to be such a wonderful 10 days. So if you want to come, remember to come to healthywealthyvegan.com and fill out the application form so that we can get in contact with you with more information. So that was pretty much my day. Most of that work was done, and I was obviously replying to so many messages. I try to get to all of your messages. It's really difficult to be able to reply to everybody, but I try my best to be able to reply to everybody. If I don't reply to you, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's most likely because I didn't see it or it got lost in the hundreds of messages. But I do try really hard to get to you. And there was one person that commented in the group that I run with Nate. It's Raw Vegan Monkeys on Facebook. If you want to join that group, you're more than welcome to, and I'll approve you. It's like a secret group for raw vegan stuff. You can talk with other people, find people in your area, that kind of thing. Anyways, there was somebody in one of the groups that asked tips on how to eat raw when other people in your family or household aren't, and you're cooking for them. Do you have any tips and tricks and ideas on what we could do? And I wrote down a list of 10, and I wrote them down so that I don't forget any, because I don't want to forget any. So my number one tip for people who are living with family members who are not following the same lifestyle as them is to plan. And this goes for everybody, whether you're living on your own, you're living with people who aren't eating raw, living with people who are eating raw. It doesn't matter. To stay on a healthy lifestyle, you need to plan. Planning is so vitally important, and I recommend to plan the night before. That's the best time to do it. Think about what you're gonna have the next day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you're good to go. So planning is so vitally important. It keeps you on track, it keeps you focused, and it gets you something to be excited about the next day. Then the second tip is to eat more. Yes, that is like the number one thing I say all the time is eat. You want to eat as much as you can comfortably, obviously. You want to make sure you're getting enough calories for the day. Don't want to be under eating, and I hear this a lot of people who want to intuitively eat, but you can't intuitively eat until you learn how to eat, or you learn about the food that's going into your body. Intuitive eating doesn't work until you learn the food you're eating. So some people don't want to use chronometer or track their calories, but I look at it as training wheels. You want to put those training wheels on the bike so that you learn how to ride, and then you can take the training wheels off. It's not a lifelong crutch. You don't have to count calories for the rest of your life. You just need to learn what is going into your body, what kind of nutritions you're getting, what kind of calorie count are you getting, what kind of fat percentage are you getting. Once you learn that and go through maybe like 2-3 weeks of tracking, you'll really get a good understanding about what you're putting into your body. Then you can take those training wheels off, and then you know exactly how big of a salad you need, exactly how much you need to put in your smoothie to get the average amount of calories that you need for you. So that is the second tip, is to make sure you eat, and make sure you eat bigger breakfasts. This is something that I've noticed a lot of people not eating enough for breakfast. Dr. Greger had a video, whereas if you want to lose more weight, eat more in the morning. Eat more in the morning. We need to eat to fuel our tank. When you go on a really long car ride or road trip, you don't start your trip on an empty gas tank. You always fill it up to the top. So that's what we want to do with our bodies. We want to fill it up to the top with good stuff. So get that smoothie going and drink that. It'll really help set you up for the day. You might be hungrier throughout the day because your metabolism is going to be upregulated. So you're going to be burning more calories, but you will just eat more. So eat snacks and eat breakfast and make sure you get those calories in. The third tip, I would say, joins in with the fourth tip. The third tip would be to eat something between lunch and dinner. And the fourth tip is to split your lunch. So you need to eat something between lunch and dinner. The reason why is because the majority of us eat around noon and don't get home to eat dinner around 6. That's 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours where you're not eating anything, and you're probably pretty hungry. The majority of people are when they go that long without eating, no matter what diet you're on. You're gonna be hungry. So I like to tell people that you make your big giant salad for lunch and eat the majority of it. You don't have to dress the entire thing. Maybe dump half of it in your bowl and then pour half the dressing on it, eat that for lunch, and then before you leave for work, this is like the most important time. So if you're able to, sit in your vehicle after work, or if you're allowed to stay after work and sit at your desk or whatever, arrange it the way your life is. Eat the rest of your lunch. Use the rest of the salad, use the rest of the dressing, and snack on that before you leave work. If you can't do your salad, maybe do some bananas or some fruit or something like that, but make sure you have that snack between lunch and dinner, because that's going to break up that distance, especially if after work, maybe you have an hour commute, maybe you have to go pick something up from the store, maybe you got to pick the kids up from something or whatever, and most people don't get home until 7. And that's 7 hours. Like, it can be a long period of time where you haven't eaten, and this can cause problems no matter, like I said, no matter what diet you're on. So doing that can really help ease that dinner craving rush for cooked food, because you will have consumed something good. And while you're driving home, you're not tempted to go to the store, you're not tempted to go through drive-through, you're not thinking about all the things that you could throw in the oven. You're feeling good about yourself because you put some hydration in you and put some fiber in you. So that's tip 3 and 4. Then we have tip number 5, which would be to eat while you're cooking or make your stuff beforehand. So before you even start cooking, grab some cherry tomatoes, chop up a cucumber or something, and start snacking on that before you start cooking. Get your mouth busy. Get your mind distracted from what you're doing by filling it with hydrating raw foods. And if you need to, make your salad before you start cooking and start eating that, because it can take a lot longer to eat your big salad than everyone else will to eat their food. So you can get a head start by eating your salad while you're preparing their stuff. That way your mouth and your tummy are busy, and you're less likely to eat some of the cooked food or want just the cooked food that you're making for them. Tip number 6 is to make extra stuff for the family and for whoever you're living with, your friends, whatever, roommate. Make extra to share with them. If you're making them cooked food already, you might as well make extra raw for them. You care about them, you want them to eat healthy. So some examples would be maybe making them a sweet potato and adding it to the raw salad that you're having, so that you have your raw salad and they have the raw salad with sweet potato. Or you make the raw salad and then you make that salad, you put it in a wrap and wrap it up for them. So they have a wrap with the salad in it. Or you make the salad and add maybe a plant-based mock meat to it, or tofu or something, and add that to the salad. You could even do, like, if you're gonna do zucchini noodles with a sauce, you could have them do pasta with the same sauce. So you're really making raw food, but kind of incorporating it ninja style into their cooked meals. And this can really help with the food prep, but also feel like everybody's kind of eating healthy and you are sharing your raw food with them. For the most part, a lot of my sauces go really well with cooked vegan stuff. I've seen a lot of people add it to dishes with quinoa in it, or they're dipping whatever they make, like avocado toast, I don't know. But they're dipping stuff in it and they're using corn chips and stuff. So you can incorporate raw dishes with those who are eating cooked food, just so it's a little bit easier at dinner time and you don't feel completely left out that you're not eating what they are. Tip number 7 is to be the example. They're watching you, whether they say it or not. They're watching what you're doing and they're watching your own personal promise to yourself. They're learning what it's like to keep a promise. You promise that to yourself that you're going to eat raw food, then you're showing your family that you're keeping that promise to yourself. You're standing your ground, you're saying no, you're making it work because you want it. And that speaks volumes. That speaks more than actually telling someone to do something. Your example is gold. So by being the example, you show them and they're more likely to come around and say, like, I want to do what you're doing too, because you make it fun, you make it energetic, you make it interesting, you make it taste good. So they're more likely to come on board a little bit. Whether they come on board fully or not isn't the question. It's about you being the example and staying true to the promise you make to yourself. And you don't break promises to other people because you feel bad that you broke your promise. But we should feel that way, if not more, about the promises we make to ourselves. So it's very important to keep those promises. And also, while you're chopping and you're doing all that kind of stuff, you're doing an act of self-love to yourself. So thinking about it that way can really help you stay on track, especially if you ate earlier and you're not hungry and craving their stuff. Tip number 8 is going to be to switch up your reward that you're getting from the meal you're eating. So most of us want to eat the cooked meal because it's comforting, it numbs us, it gives us dopamine, it tastes good, it's convenient, it's easy, the family's eating it, someone made it for you. I mean, you name it, you know your reasons why you choose those foods. We need to replace that reward that you're getting from eating that food with a different reward, a better reward. A lot of people will say, well, just imagine how you're gonna feel if you eat the pizza or the tacos or whatever. And that's not enough of a deterrent. We know how we're gonna feel, but we're not worried about that. We want the reward. We want the numbness. We want the comfort. We want the memories. We want that from the food. We don't care about how it's gonna make us feel at the time. We will after, for sure. But at the moment, we don't care. We want that reward. We're reward-driven animals, so to speak. But if you replace the reward with something better, so think about what will be the reward if you choose the salad. You're gonna feel hydrated, you're gonna be proud of yourself. I mean, that's a big one. A lot of people don't like to feel pride, and I've heard some people say that pride is bad, but I think self-pride for making a good choice is a good thing. We all feel great when we make positive choices. So that in itself is a great reward. We want to feel that self-pride. We want to feel like we've respected ourselves. We don't want to feel guilt and regret. We want to feel good. We want to feel like we're taking a step forward and not a side step or a backward step. We want those things. So by thinking about that reward, it makes you feel like, I really, really want that. That's what I want. And then you kind of get excited about eating this raw meal because you want to get those feelings that you get when you eat a raw meal. So don't worry about thinking about how you're going to feel if you eat crappy. Think about how you're going to feel if you eat good. And then tip number 9 is to focus one dinner at a time. And this goes along with planning. You want to focus one at a time. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about whatever. I mean, you can plan like tomorrow I want to have noodles and Thursday I want to have this. Zucchini noodles, not regular noodles. See, this is interesting. When it becomes your reality, these are the words you say and it's just, you know what noodles mean because you're referring to zoodles, not referring to cooked noodles, zoodles. But you get it, right? You focus one meal at a time, just one dinner at a time. Just focus tonight and then you can do the same thing again tomorrow, but just one at a time. That focus is so important. And then tip number 10 would be to find your fallback 5. So try out all the raw recipes that you want, and when you find 5 that you absolutely love, that are easy to make, that you always have ingredients on hand and that you love, these will be your fallbacks for the days when you aren't able to eat after lunch and between dinner, when you don't have anything prepped before dinner to snack on, when you are feeling low or stressed or tired or bored or whatever. You can have those 5 fallbacks. One of mine that I'm going to share with you is super easy, and I actually ate this almost every day for lunch when I was losing 70 pounds. 5 dates, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 lemon juiced, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. With about a cup of water, blend that up, and there you go. You got a dressing. And those are ingredients that I have on hand at all times. Garlic, lemon, dates, smoked paprika. I have all of that on hand at any given time, so I can make that dressing in 30 seconds. It's very fast to make, and then I just have to chop up my salad, or you could use really easy ingredients like cabbage that's already pre-shredded, pre-grated carrots, throw in some cherry tomatoes, maybe chop a cucumber. But you can even get a box of spring mix and just pour the dressing on that if you're really in a rush. But there are ways to do it, and you just gotta find those 5 favorite recipes, and it gets a lot easier. I mean, it's gonna take time. It took me time to get used to it. I did do it overnight, but it did take time to get used to eating bigger salads, to get used to eating low fat. It's gonna take time. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to give yourself that space to grow in the raw vegan diet. And always remember, guys, please, 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 please don't fall into extreme behaviors like 100% all fruit, because that can cause gut issues in the future because you're not providing a good variety of fiber for your gut bacteria. We need to keep our gut flora healthy and vibrant, because that is what is ultimately providing us good digestion, immunity, our good vitamins and nutrients that are converted from this to that. So we need those good guys in there. So yeah, that's what I wanted to chat about today. I hope you guys got something out of it. And we have our little meow meow, one here and one here in his spot as usual. We're going to be making sushi tonight, so I've got to get downstairs and start wet chopping the cauliflower. If you guys want to learn how to wet chop, it's the best way to make raw vegan sushi. You wet chop the cauliflower, and then once it's in the bowl, before you put it on the nori, you squeeze out all the water out of your cauliflower rice. That should be quite fluffy because of the wet chop. You just squeeze out all that water and it gets kind of cakey. That's the best way to make raw sushi, because it's nice and hard and it doesn't soak up your nori and it doesn't fall apart as easily. It's really nice, strong sushi. Great for dipping in dragon eye sauce, which you can find in my recipe book right here. Dips and Dressings has the dragon eye sauce. You can find that ebook versions right here and print versions in the description box below. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Raw Food Romance. On Facebook, Lissa's Raw Food Romance, and on Snapchat, Lissa Raw Vegan. So until the next video, guys, see you tomorrow. We're done.